Think you know history? Think again? Welcome to Echoes of the Past, where we bring you the untold stories and mysteries that shaped our world. From ancient civilizations to forgotten heroes, we'll explore the incredible tales that history books left behind. Get ready to journey through time and discover the echoes of events that still resonate today. Join us and let's unlock the past together.
Helena's origins were humble, and yet she was born into a world brimming with potential. Drepanum, her birthplace, was a small coastal town located in the Roman province of Bithynia, a region that witnessed a complex intersection of Greek and Roman cultures. Though the town itself was unremarkable by today's standards, it was strategically located and integral to the region's trading routes. The mix of cultures with Greek-speaking and Latin-speaking citizens likely had an influence on Helena's early years. She was raised in the lower echelons of society. Her father's identity remains elusive in historical records, but some sources speculate that he was an innkeeper or perhaps even a man of some local importance. What we do know for certain is that Helena's mother was likely a key figure in her life. As a young girl, Helena's world was filled with the daily rhythms of life in a bustling provincial town. Her early experiences in the tavern or the inns would have introduced her to a variety of characters, including soldiers, merchants, and travelers, all of whom played pivotal roles in the vibrant world of the Roman Empire. This backdrop of mixed cultures and bustling trade helped shape Helena's personality and skill set. Though Helena's exact upbringing isn't well documented, historians surmise she may have been resourceful, intelligent, and highly capable of managing affairs that required both wit and practical knowledge, traits that would later serve her well during her rise to prominence. At some point, Helena caught the eye of Flavius Constantius, a Roman officer of humble origins from the Balkans. Constantius would later be elevated to the rank of Caesar under the tetrarchy system introduced by Emperor Diocletian. Despite the fact that Constantius eventually married Theodora, daughter of a prominent general, the relationship between him and Helena was not without significance. Helena's beauty and intelligence were well noted, and it was likely these traits that earned her the attention of Constantius. Their relationship, which might have begun as an affair, bore fruit in 272 AD when Helena gave birth to her only son, Constantinus, in the town of Naissus, modern-day Niš, Serbia. The birth of Constantine the Great, destined to become one of the most influential emperors in Roman history, marked a turning point in Helena's life. However, at the time she was still relatively obscure, as Constantius had gone on to marry Theodora and assume more official responsibilities in the Roman Empire. While her son's future greatness was not yet evident, Helena's own fate was quietly being shaped by the events around her. Though Constantine was destined for greatness, Helena faced a long period of relative obscurity in the shadow of her son's future. Constantius, after all, was a man on the rise and would eventually become the Western Roman emperor. As for Helena, the historical records are sparse during this time, and much of her life after her son's birth remains a mystery. Yet there are hints that she spent her later years managing the household and supporting the political ambitions of Constantius, even though she had been relegated to the role of a secondary figure after his marriage to Theodora. As Helena's son, Constantine, began to grow, his future became increasingly intertwined with the political landscape of the Roman Empire. Her role as mother to the future emperor would prove pivotal, but at the time she was still largely out of the imperial spotlight. After Constantine's birth, she retreated from public life, focusing on the care and upbringing of her son. It is said that Helena was a devout Christian, and it was likely in these years that she began embracing Christianity, a religion that would later shape her legacy and influence Constantine's actions during his reign. Meanwhile, Constantine's rise to power was a slow but inevitable process. His father, Constantius, had been a loyal supporter of Emperor Diocletian's reforms. Constantius' career trajectory was marked by steady advancement, culminating in his appointment as Caesar of the West. As Constantius grew more powerful, so too did the ambition of his son. Constantine's time in the Roman military, both as a soldier and as an administrator, honed his skills and prepared him for his eventual ascent to the imperial throne. Though the empire was divided, with Diocletian ruling the east and Maximian ruling the west, Constantine's father's increasing prominence allowed him to influence the balance of power in his favor. During this time, Helena's role was not merely one of passive motherhood. She likely served as a counselor to her son, particularly in matters of faith, as Constantine began to show an early interest in Christianity. The specific details of Helena's relationship with her son during these years remain somewhat elusive, but it is clear that her influence, even behind the scenes, played an important role in the choices Constantine made in his life. As Constantine's ambitions soared, his relationship with Helena became even more critical. After Constantius' death in 306 AD, Constantine seized the opportunity to secure power. He proclaimed himself emperor despite the fact that his position was not universally recognized. Helena, as his mother, supported his rise and may have been instrumental in guiding his religious views and shaping his character. Constantine's early reign was marked by internal conflict and challenges from rivals, but his strategic alliances and military prowess ensured his victory. Despite these struggles, it was under Constantine's leadership that Christianity would start to gain favor within the empire, a change influenced in part by his mother's devout faith. While Constantine's support for Christianity is well known, it was Helena who was likely one of the initial catalysts behind his shift. Her conversion to Christianity, which likely happened before Constantine's official embrace of the faith, placed her in a unique position of influence. As a devout believer, she may have been one of the reasons Constantine saw Christianity not just as a personal belief, but as a unifying force that could stabilize his empire. Helena's status and wealth grew significantly as Constantine consolidated his power. Her influence on her son became more profound, especially after Constantine's victory over his rival Maxentius at the Battle of the Milvian Bridge in 312 AD. It was in this victory that Constantine saw a divine sign, a vision of a Christian symbol in the sky, accompanied by the words, "In this sign you shall conquer." This moment marked the beginning of Constantine's public conversion to Christianity, which many attribute to the influence of Helena and the Christian teachings she held dear. In 326 AD, Helena embarked on a momentous journey to the Holy Land, a trip that would solidify her legacy in Christian history. With her son Constantine's support, she was entrusted with a significant task: to identify and honor the locations of Christ's life and crucifixion. This pilgrimage would be more than just a religious journey, it would become a turning point for Christianity itself. Helena's first stop was Jerusalem, where she sought out the sites mentioned in the Gospels. Upon arriving, she ordered an excavation at the site traditionally identified as the location of Christ's crucifixion, known as Golgotha. It was during this excavation that her men uncovered 3 crosses, one of which was later identified as the true cross, the cross on which Christ was crucified. According to Christian tradition, Helena was instrumental in confirming this relic's authenticity. Stories describe how the cross' true nature was confirmed through a miraculous healing, with a sick person being touched by the cross and instantly cured. The discovery of the true cross was monumental for early Christianity, providing a tangible connection to the events that had shaped Christian beliefs. Helena's quest didn't stop with the cross. She is also credited with the finding of several other relics, including the nails used in Christ's crucifixion and a piece of the Holy Sepulchre itself. One of Helena's most significant achievements during her pilgrimage was commissioning the construction of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Built at the site of Jesus' crucifixion and burial, this church became one of the most important Christian pilgrimage destinations. The church, completed in 335 AD, not only stood as a place of worship, but also as a physical symbol of Christianity's growing prominence within the Roman Empire. Helena's discovery of these relics and her establishment of Christian sites in the Holy Land had a profound and lasting impact. They provided both spiritual and physical evidence for the burgeoning Christian faith, uniting believers in their devotion to Christ. This journey also strengthened her son Constantine's resolve in promoting Christianity throughout the empire, with the church and relics in Jerusalem becoming focal points for Christian pilgrims from all corners of the empire. Through her efforts, Helena not only solidified her place in Christian history, but also helped create a foundation for future generations of Christians to deepen their faith by visiting the holy sites. Her legacy as a patron of Christianity, who connected the faithful with the physical remnants of Christ's life, would echo for centuries to come. After her pilgrimage to the Holy Land, Helena returned to Rome, where her influence continued to grow. Although she was no longer in the physical limelight, her role in supporting Christianity had a lasting impact. She became a symbol of devotion and piety, revered not only for her contributions to the Christian faith, but also for her role in establishing an imperial legacy that aligned with the Christian worldview. Helena's support for Christian institutions continued, and she made significant donations to the church. Her actions helped to foster a climate of religious tolerance and laid the groundwork for the widespread adoption of Christianity throughout the Roman Empire. As Constantine's mother, she also held an essential position in the imperial family, helping to guide the next generation of leaders toward Christianity. Helena's legacy endured long after her death in 330 AD. She became one of the most celebrated figures in Christian hagiography, with many stories about her life being written, including her role in finding the true cross and her pious nature. In the centuries following her death, she was canonized as a saint, with her feast day celebrated on May 21st in the Western Christian tradition and August 18th in the Eastern Orthodox Church. Helena's legacy in Christian culture is immeasurable. As the mother of Emperor Constantine, her influence was critical in the transition of Christianity from a persecuted faith to the official religion of the Roman Empire. Her discovery of the true cross and her dedication to establishing Christian pilgrimage sites cemented her status as a pivotal figure in the development of Christian traditions. Helena's canonization as a saint further solidified her place in Christian history, with her feast day celebrated in both the Eastern and Western Christian traditions. She is remembered for her piety, devotion, and determination to support Christianity at a time when it was still finding its place in a world dominated by paganism. Through her legacy, Helena remains a symbol of faith, strength, and the transformative power of Christian belief, not only in the Roman Empire but across centuries and cultures.